Are we all getting settled?
Yeah.
All righty.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Now we gotta see if we can hear Miss Fiona.
Can you hear me?
Fiona.
I feel like I don't even need a mic and you can hear me.
That's what I love about
So
you.
quiet.
I don't really either. Yeah. You and I, we're just very quiet people.
Like
Yes.
a mouse?
Yeah, just quiet as a
You never know when we're in the building.
quiet as a church mouse. All right.
That's the furthest thing from the truth if I ever heard
Oh
of
yeah.
mouse.
The amount of times they'll open the door like, be quiet, and I'm like, sorry. Like we can hear you in our meeting. Oh,
It's
sorry.
like, sorry, this is how I operate. Okay.
This is who I am.
So we need some definite soundproofing between some of them.
Yes.
The new building.
Oh, absolutely.
Brandon was talking about doing
Is
like
there
a
gonna be a
podcast room.
That's what I thought. That would be super cool.
'Cause
Well,
he
as the
actually-
GC of that project, I mean, we can definitely have some ideas made before it
That would
gets
be
built.
really cool. Because honestly, he did the podcast one day with us, and then after he did it, he goes, that was kind of cool. He's like, I could do that more often.
Well, like I was watching that, like the Selling Manhattan and like
Yeah.
Ryan Serhant and stuff, and like the podcasting is huge.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I think a podcast room would be super cool because then you can have people come and go and like you can yell in there and no one's gonna hear
What's
it.
a new wave, you know?
It really
Totally.
is.
I mean, music is fine, but information, raw information, like the podcasts, you know, I mean, that's
what
kind of the
people
new
want.
wave of the future.
We got to give the people what they want.
Absolutely. And you're doing it because, I mean, even a customer that called me today looking for a service request, you know, I told them, like, I could probably look at your property in Greenville after we're done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never been on a podcast, so I don't know how long this is going to go.
Yeah.
And he's like, I actually heard of that. So
Wow, we're kind of famous.
you are. You're famous in the 920.
I love it.
I love it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Kelly?
It is going so well. Fiona,
Hi,
you're
I'm so
back.
ex- I am
This is-
back.
I feel like we're a TV show now where it's like they have the guest host and they continue to bring the guest host that's like really good back.
Well, thank you.
So
You're
that's
2
why
weeks in
we
a
brought
row.
you
It's
back again.
exciting.
I was gone
you go,
last
Fiona.
week.
Thank you.
You're here this week. Nick's gone this week, so
Yes.
you got to fill in both weeks, which is amazing.
Yeah,
so
it's
thank
super
you.
fun. Oh my gosh, I love doing this. You're so welcome.
Well, thank you. All right, well, here we go.
In the know in the 920.
I know, right?
Cute.
Catchy.
This is just like kind of dance a little.
I know.
Did Bill do the music?
I picked this out.
All right.
It took me 100 years to pick out. Do you know how many jingles I listened to?
No.
A lot. I really was like, this is important because it's got to stay. Once we have it, it's got to be the jingle.
100%.
Just like the name. You know, I mean, it's got to be. So we are here today with Phillip Carton.
Welcome.
And Phillip is going to tell us all of the things that he does with Superior Exterior, which he is the owner of. So,
you.
Superior Exteriors, right? Sorry. Superior
So
Exteriors.
it's Superior Exteriors and Interiors.
Oh. Well,
Wisconsin.
excuse
Man of many
us. I know. Well, he was just telling me he's doing the Landro project.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And I know Jenny's gonna like put you to work. It's gonna look
she's
amazing.
already put me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Put me to
Jenny
work.
Yeah, it's gonna
doesn't
look
Really well.
so
cut
amazing.
Her and Brandon.
corners.
And like people come into this all the time. They're like, "This is where you work. This is beautiful." And I was like, "Oh, just wait.
Just wait.
Just wait a couple months."
I know. Seriously, she's really like
There's
going
a lot going
all
on
out.
in this building, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
But what they have in store for
I know.
the new Endeavor
It's
property
gonna
is
be
amazing.
crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be lit.
We're getting soon. We're getting on it real soon.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I am too.
So, okay, Superior Exteriors and Interiors.
Yep.
You do it all.
We do.
I mean, I feel like also recently, because I know you and, you know my husband, and you guys might have golfed a couple of times and
Yep.
things like that. But I feel like recently on Facebook, you finished your basement.
Yes.
And he made it like a Packer basement.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's really cool.
Decked out.
Yeah.
Everybody calls it the ultimate man cave, but honestly, it's our family den. It's the Packer den. So
It looks
because
great.
my wife Carrie is
Yeah.
just about as big of a Packer fan as I am.
That's
So,
awesome.
yes.
That works out
absolutely.
perfect.
Yeah, that is super fun.
I love that. All right, well, let's get started.
Sure.
What is your business all about? What services do you all provide? Obviously, it sounds like a lot, But, go ahead and list them off for us.
I mean, with the gist of it, I mean, it's everything home and light business. Now, obviously, with Brandon, it's getting into almost commercial industrial, but for the most part, it's residential homes, roofs, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, windows, doors.
All the things.
Everything. And then we don't just stop there either. Sometimes when you work on the exterior of houses, you also want to renovate the interior. So, we offer everything. You were looking for a plumber, an HVAC.
Yeah, just today, I'm like, Phillip, who do you know? And within seconds, he just produces names for me.
So, yeah, I mean, we're a full general contracting company. It is a franchise. I mean, the original company was founded in 1985 just as a painting company.
Okay.
So, we thrive being a subcontractor, subcontracting company, because not one person can just do one thing. Trades are specific to roofs. Trades are specific to siding.
Right.
You don't want to throw a roofing crew on a siding crew, but some companies do that just because they're paying that person a wage. So go do this, go do that. They might, they just may not have the technical aspects to ensure the quality.
Sure.
So
you
ensure
make sure that's
quality.
there.
Yes. When quality matters most, they make the superior choice and call superior exteriors.
Wow.
I love
Talking
it.
about a little jingle. Look at
Wow,
that.
catchy.
It's the foundation of the
Sure.
company.
Yeah.
From the original date it was founded,
right.
Offering quality painting products. Now it's expanded and new ownership, like I don't have the original ownership of the company. I'm a franchise of the company because the creative founder that purchased the company in 1985 still exists in business. But he gifted me the company a little over 13, 14 months ago, and I ran with it.
I love it.
So,
And I can attest to the quality because Superior Exteriors did our full siding job on our house, and I love it. And you came along at a time where I was debating whether I was even going to be able to do it or not and afford it, and I was getting some really, really high quotes, and you were like very honest with me, and you're like, Kelly, I think you might be overpaying a little bit, and
who says that?
and then I know,
Right.
you're so honest, and I loved that, and so then we started working together, and it's been great.
Well,
And that's like what you need in this kind of work. I mean, like, you can Google and find any company, and most people don't know what they're getting, right? So they're spending so much more money when they could have called a different company, got less. So I think with the trades, it's so important when you do find somebody like yourself where they're honest, because like you want to be able to talk and negotiate, or them be like, hey, you don't actually need this to lower the cost, because there's so many people out there that take advantage of people, because like I'm a real estate agent, but I'm not an expert plumber or roofer. So if someone quotes me on something and say I didn't have my background, like I'm not going to know what a crazy high quote is. So many people I think are taken advantage of. So that's so important when you're finding someone to work on your house. Is someone you can trust and is honest. So yeah, that's amazing, because not many people do that.
Well, there's a lot of things that can drive up the cost of, projects. But when it's, simple and you actually know what you're looking at, when I come to your house, I know how that house was built, because that's the background of me.
Sure.
I started off working for Jack's Lawn and Landscaping, cutting trees and, just cutting lawns and weed whacking. And
I love that, because that actually leads into our next question. What did you do prior to? So here we go. We go.
So prior to, I mean, construction's just always been in my DNA, I guess, since high school.
Sure.
14, started off landscaping and, just worked.
14. I love it.
Yeah.
That work ethic.
Absolutely.
Well, my first job, I was a sandwich artist at Subway.
Ooh.
Do you know what? I don't think Brandon Landreau will mind if I say this. That was his first job, too.
Love it. Yeah.
Sandwich artist.
That's why we like each other. We're sandwich artists together.
Yeah, it works.
You
I
branch
love it.
off from there.
Yeah, it all starts there.
So, and then, I got into concrete, working for Don Lecker.
Okay.
And did that, and then started framing houses
Sure.
for Ed Schmidt with Schmidt Brothers.
Okay.
So, knowing how a house kind of
Yeah.
gets built, but I was a laborer back then. I mean, I was a
Sure.
laborer until 2007. And then Wisconsin Rapids got hit with 4 1/4 inch hail. and 60-mile-an-hour winds. So it looked like the north and the west elevations of the city of Nakusa and Wisconsin Rapids got hit with, 50 caliber bullets. I mean, it just decimated that town. So I door knocked that whole summer for a contractor locally that was working out there, and I got into sales.
Sure.
So, and then it was from there just.
And you, I mean, honestly, and Bill and I have talked about this too. You are like the perfect person for it. Just like you are perfect for real estate. There's just certain people that just have the magic because you know a lot about, obviously, about what you're doing,
Yeah.
but you also can talk to people.
Well, it's just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Like they call it sales, but it's not a sale when, you call and say, hey, I need something.
Right.
Someone come
I need
over,
something, yeah.
Listen to you.
Right.
Let me know what you need, and I offer a solution.
Right.
And if I don't have the answer, I'll find the answer, which is, gold 9 out of 10 times because it's going to save you money at the end of the day from having to troubleshoot it on your own. And that's why I think 99% of the people choose to work with us, just because we take that personal aspect to it.
Yeah.
And we're a small business, Like if you call us, you're probably going to get me.
You're going to get, it's not like,
So
please hold, press extension, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I don't have 10 sales guys just looking to do sales. I mean, you're going to get me
Sure.
until I'm working on expanding, which will lead into your next
Okay.
so it's just that personable approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Very cool.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's super important, and it's nice that they get a hold of you because sometimes you call like some of the big box office and you're getting someone who's been on the job for like a month and they don't even know what they're doing. So it's super nice that they get a hold of you because a lot of people you don't get a hold of the owner.
You can call me on Saturday night, I'll answer.
But not
I know
Sunday,
you do.
right?
Well,
Not Sunday because of
Oh,
Packers.
absolutely. Sundays seem to be the day that customers like to text and call.
No
and
kidding.
call.
I'm like, is no
Yeah,
one else
no.
not watching the football game right now?
I think they see the website say 24/7.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they're like, okay,
by
yeah.
appointment only.
Do you know
They
what?
want that appointment.
Do you know what? We used to have on our, and I think it actually, we went back to this on Google. It says we're open 24/7 because it was a little tip that I learned from some marketing person that then Google like gets your name out there more or whatever. But then one time we had a client that couldn't get a hold of us after like, I don't know, it was like a Saturday at such and such time. And she's like, well, it says on your website 24/7. And I'm like, oh, Lordy.
I don't almost
You
wonder
know?
when they see that if they think it goes to like a call center, but it's like no, it goes
Right.
to us. So
Right.
it's like if
Yeah.
we're at like a sporting event
Yeah.
or with the kids or whatever,
Yep.
it's like
Right.
well, like no, we're real people too.
We're real
But I think when they
people
see
too.
24/7, it usually sends you like a sub.
Yeah.
I was tailgating. I was tailgating the other weekend at the Packer game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 10:30 in the morning, and my customer sends me a message wanting to talk business, and I was just like, "Can I message you tomorrow, please?"
Yeah.
And I sent her a picture of me at the game, and she goes, "That's more important than what I got going on." So
And those are
I
the
love
clients
it.
you want to work with.
Those
Oh,
are
no.
the people
Oh,
that you want to
100%.
work
they
with.
hired me last year to last spring to do their roof, and then they're like, "We'll definitely be calling you next year to do the siding."
That's
and we did
awesome.
the siding, the 2 patio doors. We took out a patio door,
Nice.
and put in a 3-light Anderson window.
Yeah.
And then we had interior trim work to do. So
Sure.
she was actually sending me stuff on. She wanted different crankouts for
Yeah.
her windows.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Speaking of trim work, Bill Davies will not be appreciative of hearing this, but I would really like to change all of my trim in my whole house.
Done that a time or two.
And it just feels like way too big of a I've seen people try to do it on their own.
Yeah.
In fact, growing up, my dad was working on that in our house, and he was like restaining it.
Oh, sure.
And I just remember, God bless him, but for the longest time, like for years,
Yeah.
we didn't have. It just was not
It's a
there.
long
Sure.
process.
It's a big old process, but I really want like that thick, like white.
We just put that in.
Trim.
We didn't do around the doors, but
You
we
want
did
crown molding around.
all of our baseboards.
So you can have all the crown molding in my house, and I'll have my painter spray it white for you because I'm sure you're a lady
Perfect.
that would like it white.
I would like it white.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is yours white?
Yep. So we
Yep.
just
Okay.
we redid our floors and all of our. We did not do.
She
around the
basically redid her
doors.
whole house.
We
It's
did.
cool.
Yeah, we did.
It's
It was
awesome.
a lot of. It's awesome that it's done. The process of doing a lot
Yeah.
of it was like, oh
Yeah.
my
There's
gosh.
so much work that goes into home ownership. You
And
know,
it
but
never
that's the rewarding
ends.
part. Oh no, it doesn't.
It never ends.
My
It's
wife
like,
and I
oh.
bought a house last September. We closed like September 22nd, and then I took over ownership of the original franchise of Superior Exteriors. And it's, we put in I put in 246 linear feet of vinyl fence for our dog Callie, so she could play
Wow.
back there.
Oh, sure.
And then all my tools, because we moved.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everything is in the garage in boxes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to get back to work. And so the
That's
dog needed
tough.
to be,
Yeah.
so
Right.
I took a week to,
Yep.
well, 4 days it
Yep.
took me,
Yeah.
my son and I to do the fence. And
Sure.
then I insulated, drywalled,
Yep.
textured, painted the garage.
I saw you working on that on Facebook as well. I feel like Facebook is really where I know everyone's life.
Oh, correct.
You know,
100%.
It's-
I might have
Well,
not
that's-
talked to someone in like
that's
5
such a
years, but I
cool-
know everything about them.
Right.
You run into
I
them
know
at the
their
grocery
kids'
store.
names.
Right.
You're like, hey,
And
how's
oh,
your grandma doing?
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, we're a
haven't seen
society
you
of
in like
shares.
7 years.
We love sharing.
It's
Sharon's
great, though.
caring, though, right? You know what I mean?
Honestly, yes. I think so too.
I think Facebook has become just a great platform. I mean, TikTok and all
Yeah.
that, these podcasts.
Yeah.
They're just all great platforms to actually just get to know
Connect.
people.
I agree.
Like,
totally
hey, you're
agree.
looking for a roofer. Hey,
Yep.
you're looking for an HVAC guy.
Exactly.
Hey, looking for a realtor. Well, who do you talk to?
Right.
Who
Yep.
does everybody recommend?
I love it.
So, I just have never recommended myself.
Well, I recommend you
I
a
know you do.
lot.
Yeah,
I recommend
absolutely.
you to a lot of people. And honestly, and I'm very particular about who I will recommend because who we recommend is like a direct reflection on us.
Absolutely. 100%.
So if I recommend somebody a time or two and I'm hearing from my clients like, oh yeah, no, I never got a call, or I got a call, but then they didn't follow up. I'm like, okay, scratch them off the
Agreed.
list.
Agreed. I'm constantly updating ours. Like we just got plumbing done, and like it because again, house projects never end. And immediately I added him to our list because like my experience was so great. But yeah, I'm constantly updating it too because you just don't know. And then some people like they might be amazing one time, and then it's like ugh, you just don't know.
Hot and cold. Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so we learned what you did before. You've done a lot of things. You've done a lot of things. What do you feel in your business now have been some of the biggest obstacles, learning lessons? I always say, and this is what I love talking to like other business owners about, because I always feel like running this business. I mean, I'm always learning things, right? I mean, just the other day we had a call and we were planning something, and then we decided reverse course, maybe not the right time to do this, and you're constantly like learning and growing, and I don't know that anybody has it all together. If they do, that's amazing because.
Well, my number one thing has been insurance restoration. Like, that's what originally got me into sales, theoretically, and retail remodeling kind of went tenfold with that. 'Cause,
Sure.
I'm working with the insurance companies, but then I'm also working with retail jobs. I love insurance. One, it saves the consumer money because you pay your deductible. And then you're not out tens of thousands of dollars for a project that you want done. But Mother Nature doesn't work that way.
Right.
You don't get storms every day. Sometimes you got to pay to have it remodeled, like you guys did. But the biggest obstacle is people see it as a lucrative market to get rich quick. So it's more companies popping up every day.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
My model, I use subcontractors, but I also give them the information in their work orders correctly with pictures and documentation to make sure that it's done correctly. So I eliminate and alleviate headaches. So understanding the issues up front on a home, like if the roof, is going to need 20 sheets of OSB because they're all soft around the perimeter because there was never ice and water shield and there was ice damming.
Well, yeah. I mean, right, Fiona?
Oh yeah.
So if you don't get on the, so if you don't, like in terms of roofing, if you don't get on the roof
Yeah.
and actually walk that roof and understand the roof, and I'm just looking at it like, oh, you just want your shingles replaced. So I'm not looking at it just as putting on a product and calling it a day. As a business owner, I have to warranty that. And then I like to put extended warranties on as much as I can in terms of products to, protect you guys
Yeah.
as the consumers. So, and which is why you ever update your list, because someone's good one day and someone's not good
Yeah.
the next day.
Correct.
I have less than a 1% callback in 17 years.
That's awesome.
because
That's amazing.
That is
I
amazing.
even when I wasn't the owner, I didn't want to sell something for somebody and them not have that quality. So when they say, "Hey Phil, I need you to go to that property and take a look at that house and let us know what needs to be done on it,"
Sure.
and I come back with a contract and a work order and everything broken down with a material list, and at the end of the day, like with you, I'll show you the material list, and here's where I need to be with my labor, and then we can work out a price that's negotiable that would work within your budget.
Sure.
Get close to it.
Yeah.
Because I like to keep the costs down at the end of the day.
Which is amazing.
I know.
Well, the
consumers
world's
like
getting
that
more
too.
expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk
Everything.
about that.
Listen,
oh my
I
goodness.
go to the grocery store, I get like 5 things, and I'm like,
It's like $200.
I know.
Right.
Same, like
Yeah.
Brady and I went shopping there, literally just like make a meal, and it was like $150. And we're like, okay, so maybe it is less expensive now just to go out to eat.
I know.
Yeah.
than
Seriously.
to cook. It's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I'm like basically just
even
take my
even
commission.
Brandon, working on, I don't know if I should be saying it, but working on the GC project for him. We just found out the HVAC was going to be more expensive. So I was like, hey, I was happy with my number where I was at with you, but because the HVAC went up, I'm like, I'll drop it down 2%.
that's very nice
just,
of you.
just to
Yeah.
make sure that it's level, because I like leveling that playing field.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's really great because honestly, like that's always sort of been my thing too. And I know Fiona, you operate the same way. Like there's times that, discounts come into play and things like that. And we're okay with that because if that person is happy, right, then they start referring you to other people and your referral business really starts to grow.
Well, that's why, I spend almost very little on marketing.
I would assume you don't because you
99% of my business is referral.
again, this guy is like, he's at the golf course. Like, when did you join Beautimore? 2 years
I started
ago?
golfing in May of 21.
Okay.
When I left working for that company that I had worked for.
Sure. Yeah.
And you interacted with.
Yeah.
But I started golfing in 21, and then I joined
Yeah.
Lindsay Henning.
That's right. Yep.
She's like, hey, you want to come play with me at Beautimore? And I was
Shout
like,
out to
"I'd
Lindsay
love to."
Kate.
Love you, Lindsay. And so she goes, you should totally join here.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, I'll sponsor you. And her and I have known
Yeah.
each other since 4th grade.
Sure.
So I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I did it because
He knows everyone at the golf course, I swear.
But I feel like that's a thing too. Like, and when you're in business, like Brady always says this too.
They're
He's like,
amazing.
you need to learn how to golf because like so much
It's
stuff happens
true.
on the
No,
the
it's
golf
true.
course.
It's-
Like
it's not the-
networking, and it's not so like you're not going to a networking event. It's just more casual and organic.
It's organic.
and-
So my dad was a carpenter, and he had lived right down the road on Stames Drive, right down Prospect.
Oh, sure.
So just on the east side of the cemetery area.
Yeah.
We had a house fire when I was very young, and we lost everything. My dad rebuilt it, and then got my brother and I a set of golf clubs, but he's a righty. So I tried swinging, and I couldn't swing. So I'm like, hey, Dad, I need some golf clubs. I need a lefty set. He's like, learn how to play right or don't play. So I didn't play. So
But now you do.
yeah.
Now you do.
So all the guys at the golf course have been amazing. They threw me in the Thursday guys
Yeah.
day. Bill and I.
Yep.
I think Bill's my biggest fan there.
I think so too.
He like if he sees me, he'll cut across half the
Oh yeah,
course just to
he'll
say
get
hi.
that golf cart
Just to say
swinging right
hi.
on over to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that is
We're big
wonderful.
fans of you. But yeah, no, I think that is in any small business, right? A big lesson to be learned. How often have we talked, Fiona, about being involved in the community? Again, it's
Absolutely.
about community, right? 920.
Yep.
Like getting involved in groups, joining a board, joining and the nice thing about doing all those things is you're doing things that you enjoy.
Yep.
You're doing things that help others, but in turn, you're also getting business because the best business you get, in my opinion, is from people that trust you, know you, and trust you. You know,
There's no Betsy.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
my bestie.
Right?
Shout out to Betsy.
Yep, Betsy, love you too.
Yes.
Well, when I went out on my own in business in 21, I told her that for every for every roof that we do, I will donate $100 to peaceful purpose.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
that is amazing.
So, I maxed out my contributions with her last 2 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. You do good business, you get referrals, you go to the golf course, you meet new people.
I install Everlights as well.
Yes, that's right.
So that's not just, I added that to my portfolio, the permanent holiday anytime lighting, just as a thing for people that had a want
Sure.
instead of a need. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So my customers that I've met through that, they're amazing. So we still got to put that on your house, by the
I know, Bill Davies.
way. Bill.
I know. Well, this is great. Okay, so where would you like to see yourself in 5 years? That's always the question, right? 5 years from now, where do you want to be? Or just like, where do you want your business to go? And by the way, what do your day-to-day operations look like at this point? Because I feel like you're not like out there swinging the hammer anymore, right?
Sometimes I have my tool
Sometimes?
belt on.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just installed a Starlink yesterday out in Fremont.
Okay.
So, but my day-to-day operations, I do it all.
Yeah.
I'm my own accountant.
How do you manage it all?
I write the estimates. I go meet with the customers.
How do you manage it all?
Well, you find a fine balance. It's a give and take. So, you got your schedule. So I've learned, I haven't done I didn't do any insurance jobs this year.
Okay.
I pretty much just stayed busy. Good, healthy balance between work and home and golf. So,
And it's nice when you can do that because I think, well, I don't think, I know, and Fiona knows this, but I was chasing business for years, running after every lead that came in, everything, because I thought, what if there's never going to be another one?
Yeah.
And there's a point, I think, where, you want to treat each person, each client with care and, all the things. But there's some people that it's not going to work, right?
well, my sub crews, I've built passion with my sub crew chiefs, to where I can trust them on the site to know the level of quality that
And that's
I
so
want.
important.
Super
You've got to have
And I
people
get
that
to go
you trust.
in and out
Yeah.
throughout the day, but I do have appointments. But that's one thing. I don't want somebody just sitting there awkwardly not doing anything, because that's actually a disrespect to the crews that are actually doing the job.
Sure.
So I vet my guys very well. The roofers go through GAF training. The siders
That's
are
awesome.
VSI certified installers. Most are Latino crews, but they're some of the hardest working Americans that I've ever met. So
Yeah, I see roofs getting put on, but boom, 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 boom. It's
Constantly,
amazing.
yes.
It's amazing.
And it's within a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think that's so important that you say that because I think a lot of times when people hear that you aren't specifically doing it and you have these subcontractors, people immediately think because
Taboo.
correct.
Yeah.
Or it's like, Yes.
subcontracting to customers and consumers is taboo.
yes, it's who are we getting?
But-
What is but the fact that you vet them so thoroughly, I think is so important because we've all been through a new construction house where things are dinged and it's the builder themselves does such quality work, but the contractor that came in didn't have that level of expertise. So I think that's so important that you do that because
Well,
sometimes you don't get the best people.
One of the reasons why I went out on my own in 21 was because I'd sell a project for a customer, and they loved the experience with me. But as soon as it got handed off, the ball dropped, the ball dropped, the ball dropped, the ball dropped. And then where was the accountability?
Right.
And they're calling me looking for answers, and I'm like, well, I was just told to sell it and move on. I didn't have to project manage that
Right.
job anymore.
Right.
Right.
I'm like, why? When I first got into the industry, it was
Sure.
a requirement that
Sure.
you were the point of contact from
Yeah.
A to Z, other than scheduling for production.
Sure.
But I also wanted to be let known about it because I was so invested in my projects that I had to know, so I could swing by.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to see somebody that they recognize when you're there doing the project.
Sure.
Otherwise,
100%.
if I'm not at your project,
Right.
did I stop in at your project?
You sure did.
Yeah.
You sure did.
And I didn't even have to because I had a production assistant at that time. But they were busy just making sure they were doing what they had to do. But I always like to know what's going on with
Yeah. You're very,
920.
exactly, in the 920. You're very accessible. You're very accessible, which I think is huge because there's so many
Thank you.
contractors and people that are not. And then, like you said, just the follow through, and having really good people, having good people
It's
that can help you.
huge.
And that's where I hope to be in 5 years. To circle back to that question,
Okay, I love
to
that.
actually, I don't want to hire a sales guy just to hire a sales guy, because that's not a good direct reflection on me as
Sure.
a business. So I only want to have somebody come work for me that's going to actually emulate, the sensibility and the personality and the personalism with each customer that calls and asks for a service done from us.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Otherwise,
want
I would
people,
rather
I think,
just do it myself.
right. You want people
and
that, kind of have your same
maybe have 5 assistants.
personality, beliefs, all the things. Yeah, and honestly, that's what I was going to say before. I crashed and burned because I was chasing everything and I was doing it all myself, and it just got to the point where, it was fun for a while and then it was like, oh my God, and I couldn't get out because I had a million deals
this
going on
work.
and I loved it.
Yep.
But I had no home life whatsoever.
Yep.
And then finally one day Bill was like, I think you need to get some help. You either need to get an assistant, or you need to cut back.
what Carrie
And
said.
cutting back is not like
Or you need to start a team.
in my nature. And so then
you just need to go
Right.
really hard.
and it's funny because you know what? I started with one part-time assistant. She came to my house working in my basement.
Okay.
And because we didn't have this office space at the time, and I was so scared because I'm like, oh my God, I have to pay this person, and I take that very seriously. Well, fast forward, here we are today. I've got like 3 basically full-time people and 8 agents, and but honestly, thank you. But honestly, like my life is so much better.
Yeah.
I love what I do, but I also have people that I can rely on.
Well, and you also have a family that you love.
Exactly.
Right, and the
you
family
know.
relies on you.
Yes.
So, and like you said,
Yes.
like it's so important to be able to do that, and like I think people like have that taboo too. Is it's like if I have an assistant that I'm not fully working and I'm not fully investing, it's like no, you can still be successful at your job, and it's okay to take a step back and be with your family.
Yep.
Like you don't have to sacrifice one for the other, and like you said, like especially like this year, I think I've noticed where like when you go on vacations, like you are actually on vacation.
I am quite
Or
a bit
like
more
you
than
might
I
just
ever
be like, hey,
was.
does someone want to lead? But like you legit lead because now you have people in the office where you fully trust and like they're going to get the job done, they're going to get the deals done, nothing's going to fall through.
Yeah.
And that's like so important because like if you burn out, like that's just going to trickle like the whole team.
It just trickles down.
So it's so important that like you too, like the more you get people, it's like you need to like step back because.
So your wife is telling you it's time for an assistant?
Oh,
She tells you that a couple times?
Well, when I-
Shout out to Carrie.
oh yeah, absolutely, honey. No, I mean, I think this year, since I actually, since I took over Superior, I've had that good work-life balance, home life. Carrie does a very good job taking care of the home and our kids and stuff, and me and the dog. So, I
I've
try to
heard
make sure-
she's a saint. I've never met her, but I've heard
Oh, my
she's a
goodness.
saint. I think Betsy told me that.
Yeah, yeah, amazing woman, phenomenal. Met her on Match.com.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
their algorithm was amazing.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't know if I should have said.
I say little
No,
plug
it's
for
fine.
Match.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
No, so it's in the know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, how do people meet people these days? You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, when you're so busy working and you don't want to be in a bar. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You just have
Like,
a
I think
life.
the
You
last
can't-
like 5 weddings of my close friends are all from some sort of dating site.
Yeah, it was my godmother who told me. She's like, "When are you gonna meet a real woman? Go to Match like your cousin did." And she met Paul, and he's a great guy. He, I mean, just
Yeah.
you only hear great stories from
Right.
that. You don't really hear too many.
Well,
shameful-
Bill and I met on eHarmony.
Oh, really?
Same thing.
Yeah.
And we were living in the city of Chicago, like literally 5 minutes away from each other. But we would have probably never ran it. You know what I
No,
mean?
probably
Right.
not. Yeah.
So,
I'm so happy that happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know where we're going with that.
but now,
I mean,
well,
in
she
terms of
wants you to get an assistant.
assistance.
She wants you to get
So-
an assistant.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
like a Match.com for
sometimes I mean,
assistants?
I'm so hyper focused sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know when to turn work off. Like I don't know. Like I'm laughing at you guys talk about vacations, and I'll go on vacation. Like even when we were in Puerto Rico, I mean, I was just trying to have a vacation, but I was still answering text messages and emails and phone calls.
So you're too nice.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm still at too. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like
People
I've
tell
been
me that
in
all the
Florida
time.
and I've written like I'm out in Florida with my husband's family and I'm writing offers on the pontoon boat.
Yeah.
And that took me.
She
a
wrote an
while.
offer at
My
was it
bachelorette
your
party.
own bachelorette
My
party?
own
That's
bachelorette
right.
party.
And I told her, she called me with a question, and I said, Fiona, you should not be doing this.
I
right
triple ended it though.
That's awesome.
It was a
She
triple one. So
triple-ended
that was
it.
like a hard one to like hand off because it was like I had a seller and then I had the buyer for the seller and then that seller was buying. So it was such like an in-depth one, but that was the day where like I was there obviously with my sisters and my best friend, my mom was there, and someone was like, "Oh, is she working?" And then my one sister was like, "Well, good for her. Like, you know, she's working hard." And then I was like, "Yeah, but like these people put so much time and effort in planning this." And the last thing I want to do at 8 p.m. at my bachelorette party,
Right.
by the way, was to go upstairs
Yeah.
and be like, "I'll be right back, guys. Give me like
Gotta
30
write an
minutes."
offer. Yeah.
So then, and I think for me, our team was also a lot smaller then.
Yeah,
So for
that's
me,
true.
it was very hard to trust that somebody could do what I do. Like I know how to write offers and get them accepted.
Yeah.
And how to negotiate
Yeah.
and how to talk to my clients. And that's
different breed.
hard for me because
Yeah,
another thing too is it's
that's
like
good.
if I don't get that accepted, those people don't get that house and I don't get fed and I don't feed my family. You know, it's so different. So but now like with our team larger, there's
agree.
people that I can like and people that are producing more. I like have people where I'm like, okay, I'm gone for the week. I'm gonna just send everyone to write offers for me and I
Yeah.
fully trust them. But it did take me a while because like when you're so in it and the only way you can make an income is get accept offers and have clients, like it's so hard to because what if it's a bad
Correct.
experience and they're like, I don't want to even work with your
Nobody
team
can
anymore,"
do
you know?
it the way that
It's like,
you
"Oh,
do it.
But
Do you know what I
correct.
mean?
And it took a while to
I
let go.
feel I can feel her energy, and it's called passion. It's your passion.
That's why she does what she
So,
does. She's one of the
it's
top
like
agents.
me in home remodeling. You know,
But it's hard to let
you,
go.
you get bombarded sometimes. You know, with clientele. You know, they don't know how big or little you are.
Sure.
You know, and at the same time, like people are like, "How many guys you got working for you?" You know, and I'm like, "It's just me and my crews. It's not my fault that I have many crews,
Right.
That I
Right,
can trust,
Well, of course.
that I can trust,
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? But they've been with me through the years. Now that I'm on my own, it's just I have access to them. Do I need them all at the same time? No.
Right.
You know, and I don't think that shames me for being a smaller business.
No, absolutely not.
In 21 and 22, when we had the hailstorms, we were doing 22 roofs a week.
That's
Holy cow.
insanity.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
just roofs. There's also siding.
Insanity.
There's soffit fascia. There's garage doors because of damaged garage doors.
So
and
you
then our
like a little
generator.
hailstorm every now and again,
I
right?
do.
So
I
how
like the
many people
chaos.
do you work with? Like how many do you have? Like if you're doing 22,
Well, roofers, quality roofers,
Yeah.
which basically, you know, your regular 40 square house,
Mm-hmm.
you would see that done in one day unless, you know, you've got to redeck it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have access to 14 of those crews at any given time.
oh, so you have a pretty big. Okay.
So,
That's nice.
you have a good
well, I'm
network.
nationally
Yeah.
recognized in the insurance restoration industry.
That's
you know,
awesome.
as a consumer advocate. So, you know, when you talk about, you know, codes and things like that in the different processes, they change every year. Sometimes 2-3 times a year, depending on the economy that
yeah,
you're in.
Yeah.
right.
So, you know, market fluctuates in terms of pricing. I mean, you guys know that and deal with that every day as well. So, you know, staying up in what's going on in my industry, I mean, there's a lot of facets to look into. So I'm not really good at fantasy football. So, you know, I don't have time to sit and study that stuff all
Sure.
day because
Right.
I'm too busy working for my customers and figuring
Exactly.
out what their wants and their needs
Yep.
are. And then at the same time, just, you know, I took up golf literally just to kind of free my mind. So that's my mental break.
Yep.
You know, that's my
why
me
Bill
time.
loves it too.
So
yeah.
I tell Carrie, I'm like, hey, I gotta go golf real quick, just because like I'm stressed out. You know, I need a couple hours just
Yeah.
to have me time.
Exactly.
And she was my biggest supporter in that as
That's
well.
awesome.
So,
Again,
but
great job, Carrie.
yeah,
Supportive significant others in our
Yes.
type of line of work is
Yes.
so important.
Okay, yes. So what have we learned here today? We've learned
did we
supportive
learn?
significant others are very important.
Absolutely.
Which is it is
So
really
true.
true because honestly, I've had people come in, I've had agents come in and right off the bat, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so busy working with you because we provide so many leads and things." But they're like, my husband or boyfriend or whatever is getting so mad at me. And I'm thinking, oh, this isn't going to go well. This
No.
isn't going to work. So significant others, very supportive is important. having a good team, crew, right?
Yep.
Whatever it is,
Yep.
you've got to have those people because none of us can do it all ourselves.
Nope.
None of us can,
If
right?
you think you can, you will be very quickly burnt out and realize that you cannot.
Yes.
Well, I mean, empathy in business is something that lacks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain companies and people and realtors and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, the people that we're in contact with every day and the people that we meet,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for the most part are empathetic. And, you know, they can feel
Sure.
the difference.
Yes.
So, you know, that's kind of one approach
Mm-hmm.
that is just in my business is just keeping
And you
it
do a great job
personable.
with it.
Just
And like you said,
stay personable.
solving a problem,
Right.
right? Figuring out what a person needs, solving a problem. So how the heck can people get a hold of you?
Well, you can reach us on social media on Facebook.
Okay.
Superior Exteriors and Interiors WI.
Okay.
You can find us on our website, www.seiwi.com.
SCI.
SEI.
SEI. Look at me screwing it up. We're going to
So
get
for
this right.
Superior Exteriors
got it.
Interiors.
SEI.
SEI.
What was next?
WI.
WI.
.com.
Got it. Perfect.
Gotta have Bill put at the bottom.
Yes. SEI. WI.
Or you can call me directly on my
.com.
cell phone.
Or you can call Phillip anytime. You are really good about that. You are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
calls, texts, emails.
great.
I mean,
Yeah.
those are typically
That's awesome.
the best way to get in touch with me. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, this is so fun. I love hearing about different people's journeys and I love your passion. I mean,
thank you.
you're just great. You really are. Everybody, call Phillip for all of your
Yes.
home needs, interior,
We would
exterior.
love to take care of you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The whole thing.
Big and small. I mean, I get small jobs from customers. They're like, I don't feel like I should, like, I'm sorry for wasting your time. And it's like, you're not wasting my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like sometimes
Then
there's
you're also
repairs.
making connection, and if they
There's
need
repairs
something bigger
that
down
need
the
to get
road,
done.
you're gonna be the first one to pop in
Right.
their mind too.
Absolutely.
Oh,
if there's repairs that
absolutely.
need to get done, my crews will do it, and they'll do a very good job
Yep.
doing it.
Mhm.
I just probably won't take much of a cut, if any at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's just,
Yeah.
it's not big enough to really, you know, be anything. I
Right.
guess.
But it's doing those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to offer the discount. Sometimes you got to do those things. But then it builds that relationship.
I try to just keep the price at a median.
Yeah.
So you don't
You're
have to
good.
worry about discounts. But if you got military, veteran,
Sure.
active service members,
Yeah.
things like that,
Wonderful.
we do take that into account. Senior
awesome.
citizens discounts. So we just look. I mean, we want to take care of the community.
That's so great.
So
The 920.
yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, now we're going to thank you again so much. And I just hope everybody uses you. Now we're going to talk about a couple of weekend events because we always like to be in the know.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So here we go.
Let's see what's happening this weekend in the 920.
So cool.
She just loves doing her little bits. All right. First, Romp in the Swamp.
Ooh,
Do you know, honestly, though, a lot of the things that I end up, not a lot, but I read these things each week and then I actually do some of them.
What is it?
Well, this one I don't know if I'm going to do,
I'm
but
interested.
hold on.
What's
okay.
a romp in the swamp?
With my name Fiona, Swamp just
So,
intrigued me.
Friday, 4 to 8 p.m. at Boobolt's.
Who else?
Admission, $10. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, it's the 31st annual. It says, join us for our 31st annual Romp in the Swamp, presented by Essity, a cherished autumn tradition where adventure meets celebration. This year they're back and better than ever.
Trees are beautiful, right?
So it says your adventure begins as you take an enchanting
Okay.
hay wagon ride out to the prairie. There you can grab a s'more before. Well, now I'm going.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm like,
Before
oh,
exploring our
Here's-
scenic trails
here's perked.
to collect treats at the trick-or-treat stations along the way. Make your way through the twisty prairie maze, fun fall-themed games in the pines, and even watch a film in costume while savoring some delicious popcorn.
oh, that actually
fun.
is like 30.
4 to 8 on Friday.
It's right down the road from me.
Yeah, that sounds super fun.
I feel like we're going to see pictures of Phillip in his costume on Friday night.
He's
at
there by
Romp
himself.
in the Swamp.
No
the leaves are
family with
turning. The
him.
leaves are turning over in the neighborhood.
It is pretty.
Oh, it's
it
gorgeous.
really is
It's starting
pretty.
to get really,
Yeah.
really nice out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next, Fright Night. I love this time of year. I'm a Halloween.
Yeah, I
love
am
it.
too.
So Fright Night, Friday, 5:30 to 8, Greenville Community Park. $15 for 19 and over, $10 for ages 5 to 18. Under 5 is free. Join us for a family-friendly event with something for everyone. It says less scary hours, which is good.
For the kids?
Yep, for the
All right.
kiddos, 5:30 to 8, at which time the spooks in the Haunted Pavilion and Hayride are friendly. Well, that's nice
that
of
is
them.
nice.
Ease them into it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The lights are left on in the haunted house, and the characters will interact with the kids, but don't try to scare them. Scary hours are from 8 to 10,
Okay.
at which time the lights are out,
Oh, yeah.
and the spooks will be active.
Right.
It says there's bonfires, pumpkin decorating, dance party, face painting, just everything.
That's like so. I've never heard of
I know.
for the little kids being like nice. Like that's
I
so
know.
cute. That's a
so
cute
Friday
idea.
night, Greenville Community Park, 5:30 to 8. Well, and then 8 to 10 is for the scary.
Okay.
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 All right. Now Saturday, craft beer walk.
Oh,
I feel like
Huge.
yeah, I was gonna say I feel
yeah,
like you
where's
can get
this?
into that.
My parents are coming this
I
weekend.
don't drink
so I'm
craft
like, oh,
beer, but I'm sure there's a lot of guys out
I
there.
don't drink
any
ladies
beer,
out there.
but
Oh,
still
yeah.
saw something fun. to
Here
do.
we go. See what I mean? You actually end up doing some of these things. Craft beer walk Saturday, 3 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
Okay.
333 West College Ave is where it starts, which I'm assuming is
downtown
one of
Appleton.
the bars.
West College?
It just says 333. Yeah, West College Ave.
333. I think that's going to be over more by kind of Lawrence, would it be?
Yeah, well, that's for sure on. Because I bet you go to like. I bet you. Do you have to pay to go to this?
It is okay. Hold
Do
on.
you get a wristband? You go to like different bars.
$30.
And I bet you go to different bars. Like, is it like
Yes.
a bar, but
So it
try
says-
beers? I mean,
oh, it says embark on a flavorful journey through downtown as you explore our vibrant breweries, restaurants, and bars during the craft beer walk. Sample locally crafted beers from each participating venue, with each offering 2 3-ounce pours of their finest brews.
Yeah.
From hoppy IPAs to rich stouts and beyond. All attendees will receive a commemorative craft beer walk pint glass
Get out there,
to use
guys.
for sampling and to
Ladies.
keep after the event.
Yeah.
when is
So it says
What
how
time?
it works.
Saturday.
3 to 8. This Saturday. It says how it works. Select your starting point on the event day.
Okay.
So you can pick like one of the, I guess,
The
one
bar,
of the
sure.
starting points. Purchase tickets via the website by clicking on the business name or purchase in person at any participating location. On event day, after visiting your starting point, choose 7 additional stops from the complete list. Holy
Wow.
kittens. And then
Could be a long day.
taste and discover the unique attributes of 2 beers at each stop. And it's $30. So craft beer walk Appleton. I'm guessing if you Google craft beer walk
Yeah, that's
Appleton,
sounds
you
super
can
fun.
probably get all the info. That would be a good one for you to
like-
take your parents to.
yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I
Sounds
think my dad
amazing.
and
Get to
Brady
go
would
to a
like
lot
that,
of
sure.
different stops.
That's like 14 because it's 7 stops and 2 at each. That's like
I know.
14.
I know, right?
Dang.
I know.
My brother, you guys ever hear of hashing?
No.
So like hash runners. So
what is
basically
that?
they would run and they would have like drinking stations.
Oh,
yes, I have seen those.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
I have seen
healthy.
You're like so it's
Yeah.
like a race, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
so
and there's like beer and like on the stop. Yes, I
yeah,
have seen that.
It's kind of like mini marathons with alcohol.
Yes, I have seen that.
That's how I think of
I'm more of like a
craft beer
sitting
walk.
drinker type person.
Yeah, me
Maybe
too.
one day I'll
I was
run
gonna say,
and drink.
I don't know if I could run and. I don't know. Fiona, I'm going to let you read the rest. The rest of the week. Oh, she's
I am
got.
attached.
We're going to pass
Oh,
this
geez.
along.
I'll hand it to
Great,
you. over
thank
here.
you. I'm just
Absolutely.
breaking everything.
Teamwork makes the dream
My
work.
gosh.
It does. It really does.
All right, so we now are at downtown Oshkosh, the spooky stroll.
Oh, see all these spooky
I know.
events.
There's so much going on like, during this time,
Oh.
and then Christmas. It's like explosion. time.
Halloween.
Um,
Absolutely.
is Saturday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. At the Time Community Theater. It says, calling all Halloween lovers, tap into your inner witch, goblin, or fairy princess, and join us for downtown Oshkosh spooky stroll. Enjoy alcoholic seltzers and cider samples at downtown businesses from 2 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, October 19th. I also love that in Wisconsin, everything's like Halloween. Oh, there's also alcohol.
Yeah.
Like, you're in
real.
Wisconsin where
Gotta
everyone's
stay
like,
motivated.
For real.
yeah, where everyone's
Gotta
like,
stay
don't worry,
motivated.
there'll be alcohol.
Bring the kids, and by the way,
I don't think we're the only ones.
No, but it's just like such a, it's so funny.
It's an enhancer.
Yeah, so it says 20 plus seltzers and cider samples. Wow, that is a lot of samples. That's amazing.
Wow.
Will be featured at different businesses throughout downtown Oshkosh. Participants can sample up to a total of 18 beverages. one sample per location. Some businesses will offer Halloween-themed special games.
so this
and
is like
prizes for the
another,
event.
like-
It does sound like another like bar crawl type thing.
Okay.
The spooky stroll will run rain or shine. So you're going.
There's nothing
Perfect.
stopping
Nothing.
the spooky.
It's gonna be beautiful
stroll.
this
It's supposed to be-
weekend, though.
It's supposed to be like 70s
Yeah,
again.
you,
Oh, that's
you
amazing.
need to be outside.
Yeah,
Don't be in the
for
house.
sure.
Get outside.
Enjoy it
Enjoy
while
the
it
area.
lasts.
'Cause it won't get cold.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
It'll get cold
super cold.
pretty soon.
Stores will also be open for general public of all ages. Halloween costumes are encouraged. There will be plenty of fun photo ops. Tickets include a shopping treat and bag, punch card for your drink samples, souvenir beverage glass, map of participating drink and snack locations, and there's seltzer sighting. And tickets are from $10 to $35. So I'm guessing that maybe.
Spooky stroll.
Yeah, maybe just difference of how much you want to drink, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
$35, you get all of it.
Yep. And $10, you get maybe
But
some
do you get a
other
pint
things.
glass at the end?
Right.
But you get a bag.
Ooh, a
You do
bag.
get a
Yep.
souvenir beverage glass.
Alright, I
You
love
do.
it.
You do.
Yeah.
I love it.
You do. So
I
you can,
feel like-
so if you live in Oshkosh or
I
the
was gonna
Appleton
say,
area,
there's
you
going to
can
be a
hit
lot
both.
of people
Yep.
strolling around
Yep.
this
Take an Uber.
weekend. Yes.
Take a limo.
Take
Take
an
a bus.
Uber, take a yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Private bus.
1000%.
So there's also a Halloween carnival on Sunday. So you can hit up Saturday, you can hit up Sunday from
Okay.
1 to 4
What do you got?
at
Carnival?
Dolicious in Appleton.
Oh,
Yes.
delicious.
Ooh.
Yep, it
Yeah.
says come join
Have
us
you
for
been
our
there?
6th annual.
Phillip,
I don't know if I've been there.
I have an 11-year-old daughter.
you should really
I
take
haven't.
her.
I don't think I've been there.
So it's really good. It's cookie dough of all
I love
different
cookie dough.
varieties.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
And it's
Yes,
totally like
yes.
it's like safe to
Yeah, like
you know how
edible.
some are like, oh, don't eat that unless you cook it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I don't
this
listen
is-
to those either.
Yeah, I don't either. But this is all safe. Good
Oh,
stuff.
so
Love it.
yeah, we can drink on Saturday and eat cookie dough on Sunday.
There you
Ooh, I
go.
love that.
Perfect
So that's on
weekend.
Sunday?
It is Sunday. Yep, it is Sunday from 1 to 4.
Okay.
It says, come join us for our 6th annual Halloween Carnival. Stop by the store for all your kinds of fun and treats. This year, the Halloween Carnival theme is Beetlejuice, which is very on brand for the
Fun.
new movie.
Yeah.
If you come in your best dressed Beetlejuice movie character, you will receive a small prize and a chance for one of the 3 grand prizes. This is going to be our best carnival yet. We have so much fun in store for you. What to expect? They've got games, pumpkin painting, face painting, cookie decorating, balloon twisting, build your own caramel apple bar, which sounds super fun. Costume contest. They'll pick 3 winners, treats, and more. Tickets for activities will cost anywhere from 50 cents
Oh, wow.
to $5. So very
Good,
reasonable.
yeah.
Each game will cost 50 cents.
This is like a Bay Beach
Yes.
situation.
Pumpkin painting $3 and the caramel apple bar is $5. All tickets will be purchased upon entrance. You can just buy it right there. All tickets
Okay.
are cash. So just bring
Very
some cash.
cool.
Yep.
Delicious on Sunday.
Yeah, that
Drinking on
sounds
Saturday,
super fun.
delicious on Sunday.
And then we've got one
Well, and we
more
got to watch the
event.
Packers too. We
And
got
the
one more.
Packers. But you
Okay.
can, eat the snacks while watching the
That's
Packers.
true.
Perfect. And then you've got a pottery workshop from Sunday from 3 to 5 at
Okay.
Urban Cultural Arts and Events Center. So it says unwind after a long day and tap into your creative side as you explore the art of pottery. Our instructor will guide you through the process on a pottery machine. That's fun. From molding air dry clay to creating your own unique masterpiece. Whether you're a beginner or have experience in pottery, this class is designed for adults of all skill levels. Join us for an evening for relaxation, creativity, and fun. Spaces are limited, so you're definitely going to
Okay.
want to sign up soon at www.urbanculturalarts.com.
Okay.
And it is $35 per person, and it's only 2 hours, so from 3 to 5.
That's awesome. And I immediately think of the movie Ghost.
Yes.
Patrick
swear-
Swayze.
I almost went like this because I was just like,
Totally.
Yeah,
I
so
love it.
there's so
a
much
lot of
going
fun things
on.
going on this
Yes.
weekend. Get
Yeah,
out there, like you said, enjoy the weather while it lasts.
Yes.
And get out and enjoy the community, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yes.
And I hope
You
all of
too.
our listeners have a great weekend as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To contact the Kelly Davies Homes team for all of your buying and selling needs, call 920-791-9047. Find us on Facebook at the Kelly Davies Homes team or go to kellydavieshomes.com.
Yay! That was fun.
That was super fun.
That
These
was
events seem
super fun.
awesome.
I know, right? Seriously, like every week I read them and I'm like, oh,
loud we were in those.
I might actually want to do that. You know?
I gotta call somebody right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, of course. course you do.
Supposed to come at 2 o'clock.
She's got to write an offer.
Carrie's our I guess you would say our events coordinator. So her Milwaukee's gang is coming up from, well, they're coming up from Milwaukee area, and we're going to some Spurs Saturday night,
Nice.
and then we're having a Packer party on Sunday.
Sure. Well, yeah, because I mean, you have like a Packer
But I'm
stadium
like-
in your basement,
I'm like, I want to go to that pottery thing. I've always wanted to do that.
right? I
I've never-
seriously, I always like learn something.
I'm just afraid to go to it because I think that I would want to do it all the time now. So,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with doing pottery.
oh,
You know,
but I gotta golf as much as I can. on
That's
my free
true.
time right
that is true. You do. You do.
now. Like Friday.
Friday, you're golfing.
3 rounds.
Bill's probably going to be out there too.
Well, I can't go. I can't go tomorrow. Well, I usually like at least try to make Thursday guys day,
Sure.
which in the chaos of the week that
Mhm.
gives me my
Yes.
like every week.
Yep.
You know, playing Donnie's game.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to do that, but I can't because Emma's mom scheduled Emma's conference. She got parent-teacher conferences on Thursday at 2:00, so it's right in the middle.
You're like,
So
great.
I was like, honey, I'm like, what are we doing on Friday? She's like, nothing. And her gang's coming in, so she's gonna be
Yeah.
working on like
Yeah.
straightening the house up.
Sure.
'Cause they're staying at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, can I golf all day? She's like, sure. So
That's
I'm starting
awesome.
at 8:00 in the morning,
I love it.
and then we got 8, noon, and 4.
Oh my God. Is this all at Bunamore?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So
I give you
I got
guys
some
so much
credit.
credit. I don't know.
well, I
how
got
you-
credit with the shop that I got to burn up.
Oh, yeah,
So
sure.
from the member guest and
Mhm.
the member 3 guest and winning the thing a couple times. So,
Good job.
yeah, there's a bunch of credits out there.
That's awesome.
But my game's come up a pretty. I mean, I was a 29 handicap. I mean, last year, and then my goal this year was to be an 18.
Okay.
And I'm like right on the cusp.
That's really good, isn't it?
yeah. But I'm only 3 years golfing, so like that's one of the things like
Yeah.
why pretty much how I know a lot of the guys because
Mhm.
I was out there a lot
Mhm.
and I was getting ready for like the member guests
Mhm.
and it was my brother because he lives in Virginia and I was going out to his place in June for the member guests
Mhm.
and I played in his last year as a
Sure.
29 handicap
Yeah.
but you only get 75% handicaps during that event
Sure.
so he's like yeah he's like your goal is to actually be an 18 handicap because that's what the max handicap is out there.
Okay.
So I did that, and then
That's awesome.
all the guys were just like, "This guy's insane because I can hit the ball."
Just imagine if you would have been doing it since you were a child. You could be on the PGA Tour by now.
That would be amazing. That would have been cool. Like I'm getting pretty good at it. Like,
That's awesome. I'm sure you've seen my kid out there.
oh,
He's
he's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I've seen him and Bill out there and watched him. Actually, I've watched
ridiculous.
him swing. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, dude.
I-
It's so cool.
I'm like, where did this come from? But it's great that he found something that he loves.
That's good.
He loves watching. Like he loves. I mean, anything you'd ask him about football. Who's the quarterback for this or this or the what? He can tell you all the things.
Yeah.
Basketball, baseball, all of it. He loves watching it. He doesn't want to participate.
Yeah.
He loves, and he'll play like with his friends and in the
Sure.
yard and stuff like that. But he just doesn't want to.
Well, competitive in some aspects, you know what I mean? Like, is intimidating. You know, and I
Mhm.
was a sports athlete growing up. Like, I played baseball, basketball,
Mhm.
football. Like, I wasn't in wrestling, and then I obviously didn't golf or anything.
Mhm.
But like, I never played hockey.
You were a
for team.
year-round sports, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was a winter baby. I'm a
Mhm.
January baby, so
Mhm.
it was like your birthday, and everybody,
Mhm.
it's like
Yep.
gotta go hang out outside
Mm-hmm.
and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And most of the time, my birthday fell on a Packer wild card game, and when I was younger, I wasn't even a Packer fan.
Really?
No, I was a
Oh my
Cowboys
gosh.
fan.
Oh my! Oh.
But that was because of Emmitt Smith, and I was in football.
Emmett Smith
and
was
he
amazing.
was my like.
I
he was
agree
my
with you on
icon
that.
in
Emmett
terms
Smith
of
is actually one that I
running.
know. That guy could run. Holy shit balls. Yeah.
So
That is so cool, though. I love that. You're just getting into it. It's funny because when we first joined at Bunamore, Brandon was like, and I'm like really good friends with them, but he was kind of like, He's like, I'm glad you're joining, but I'm also a little worried. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because you're just such a force, and I feel like you're going to like, he's like, I'm there to make connections, and then you're going to be there to make connections. But that's never happened because I don't actually golf.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do some of the, like, I love going there for, like, Easter brunch and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
And I sit by the, I go to the pool with the kids and stuff like
Sure.
that, but that's kind of the extent of it for me. So I'm just, do you know what, Philip? As I
There's
get
not a
older, I just don't like people as much.
I'm right there with you. That is an amazing trait.
Peopled out, you know?
My stepmom told me that, what the fuck, like 10 years ago? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why'd you move all the way out here? She's
Mhm.
like, I can't stand people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's a lot of people that make you want to stay near.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more that make you not want.
Yes.
And, you know, I mean,
I have a social battery, and it's like it can go, and I can turn it, just like you, right? But then there's a lot of like rest needed after that. I
Yeah.
can't just do it all the time.
But some
So
people are just eccentric to be around.
yes,
Like,
yes,
So it's like when you can sit back and relax, it's like,
yes,
when you're in good company and you don't have to.
absolutely, I agree with you.
You don't have to.
You're not
ease
putting on a show.
Yeah. And that's one thing that, like, I don't ever do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's good.
And, oh, yeah. I mean,
That's
it
really
gave
good.
a couple riffs to the guys at the club.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, I don't care that you have money, dude. Like,
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
keep it real. Don't be a snob.
Yeah.
So, they didn't like that too much, but, like,
Do you know what though? That's good because there is some people that need to be brought back to reality a little bit sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
But that's also why, like, we have our people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely.
Why you got Bill, why I got Carrie.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah.
and then the people that you're around and work
You're right.
with,
There it is. It's so like effortless with the people that you actually want to hang out with and care about.
But that's how simple life is sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
That's life.
Mhm.
So,
Yep. Yeah.
like this, having, and I thank you for having me on for
Of
this. 'cause
course.
this,
Thank you for coming.
This is kind of like just a little eye opener for me too. Like I've had the business for over a year, and it's just like where do I see it going?
Mhm.
It's just like like
Yeah.
have aspirations, but you're like you can't have reservation with those, but like development, like hopefully having a team
Mhm.
of guys.
We'll have you back on in like 2 years, and you'll be like, yeah, I've got this big crew, and honestly, having people here, employees, has been the best thing that I've ever done in my life. Because I had to work real hard to get to that point to be able to have enough to pay people, and provide for people and stuff. But
That's the scariest part sometimes.
it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And I tell them all the time, I take it really seriously that like your livelihood is,
My responsibility.
exactly. It's like, so I take it really seriously. But, God, it's been like life-changing, honestly. Because I was at a point where I was doing, and I didn't even know this at the time, but we went to a conference. I went to a conference with Brandon and Jenny out in California several years back. And we were supposed to prepare stuff to like bring out there, like how many deals have you done this year and all this stuff. And I knew I was busy, but I never really looked at it. And it was October. So January to October, my total was like, I don't know, it was a little over 100. And Brandon's like, Kelly. And I didn't ever, because I never really looked at, though, like what anybody else was doing.
Right.
I looked at what they were doing in terms of like their marketing and things, because you take things and you get ideas and stuff,
Absolutely.
and then you not duplicate, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you spin it yourself. And I mean,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with having aspirations.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who's are they defined to?
Exactly.
Because it's like
Yeah.
everybody sees the same thing nowadays.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. So I would do that, but I never like really paid much attention to what I was doing or what anybody else was doing. And he's like, Kelly, that's a lot of deals. But it got to the point where like we take the kids to Disney in January. We've kind of done that every year. Get out of Wisconsin for a little bit, right?
Mhm.
And it got to the point where like we're walking down Main Street of Magic Kingdom and the fireworks are going off. And I'm like, hold on, I got to take this call,
Oh no,
you know, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
you felt it. And I think that happened to me in 21 when I decided to leave ARC. You know, I was just like, this is like the last straw. I mean, for you, it was
yeah.
it was the fact that you realized that you're like, I'm missing a key.
Yes, my
Like,
kids are looking
this
at
is-
me going,
it's
Mom.
an inside out moment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's that inside out moment.
Yep.
And the new movie that came out was just amazing.
For sure. Oh, I totally agree with you.
Carrie and Emma were just nuts on it.
I totally agree with you. I think, yeah, I mean, life is too short. And I remind myself a lot, like, nobody's going to put on my tombstone, like, Kelly did this many real estate deals. No one cares. But at the same time, I have to do a lot because, you know, so but I have a much better balance now than I did because it was just, I like to call it harmony. I heard that from somebody at a conference. It's not really work-life balance because I feel like you can never really necessarily have like a full balance. It's more of a harmony. So it's sometimes
Right.
you're working really, really hard. And then other times you step away, right? And I've been more cognizant of that. And like with the kids too, there's times that they know, like, I'm like, hey guys, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, this is how I make my money. I got to write this offer. I got to do this.
Yep.
But then on Saturday, I get to spend the whole day with you or whatever,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
and the older the kids get, the more they understand.
Yes.
You know, and that's
For
one
sure.
of the cool parts
It
about
makes it a hell of a lot
about
easier.
having kids that are a little older now. You know, they understand that process.
Yes.
So I mean, when they're younger, they don't. They're just like, hey, me,
Yeah,
me.
I need you. I
But
need you.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Well, thank you again. I'm going to go try to get another listing.
I have to go look at a bad Everlights job that somebody did. I don't know who did it. Well, I know who did it, but I don't know who did it.
So I got to tell you, this light situation here has gotten really out of control. I work with, just randomly got this lead a long time ago, and now I've worked with him several times. Luke Holschbach, and he owns Bay Custom Lighting, I think it's called.
Yeah, Bay Area custom.
Bay
They do
Area
trim
Custom.
light.
Yes.
So I did a customer. So there was a company out of De Pere that I
Mhm.
went up to Pulaski and I fixed this issue that they had.
Mhm.
But before they knew that there was a resolution, before Everlights was like, hey, call our other guy in Appleton.
Sure.
They had Trimlight come out and give them a quote, and they got Everlights on their gutters, and it's just one run.
Mhm.
It's a ranch style house, so it's
Mhm.
just an A-frame.
Sure.
And it's just the front of the gutter,
Mhm.
and 62 feet long. Came back last night. They weren't home from work yet. I was a couple minutes early, and the Halloween lights were on, but it was on the bottom of the soffit, which is what Trimlights is known for.
Mm.
And then I'm like, oh man, are they gonna make me take down the Everlights? You know, they weren't home, so I
Mhm.
just had these thoughts going
Right.
through my head.
Right.
Like, what the heck's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Then they came back and they're like, yeah. So they're like, yeah, my husband bought these for me for our wedding or for our wedding anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
and for my birthday because they're so close.
Mm-hmm.
Because he really wants me to have lights, and I was really disappointed that I didn't have a solution with Everlights.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you what she sent me because she wrote a review for me.
Aw.
She sent an email to Everlights
that.
letting
That's
them know
awesome.
about the representation because I fixed them, and now they've got Everlights on the gutter and they've got trim light on the bottom. And
That's kinda
I've never seen that system, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I should show Carrie this.
Yeah, you're like, shit.
Like, I don't know if I should show my wife.
Now I'm going to have
because
to, yeah.
She might want me to put Everlights on the soffit now,
Mhm.
but I don't think I could do the Everlights on the bottom because it doesn't illuminate the same way trim lights does.
Mm-hmm.
So like I studied all the
You know.
I studied all
Yeah.
of the lights, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like trim light. I like trim light
Mm-hmm.
depending on the house,
Mm-hmm.
really, because it's more of an illumination.